The person stand with their sound leg forward on the heel, bearing weight on the prosthesis, and then swinging the prosthesis. Demonstrate the pelvic tilt action by grabbing the socket with your hands and simulating the actual motion needed for taking the step forward and enabling the action to be felt by the person. Now have the person step forward with the sound leg, causing a lordosis of the spine. Position the arms correctly. The person should actively tilt the pelvis with their muscles, causing the prosthesis to swing through. Once the swing action is practiced, have the person walk with consecutive steps. Start out with the sound leg first. The person has most control with it, and this sets the person up perfectly for the pelvic tilt on the next step. Step out, pelvic tilt, and walk. Practice pelvic tilt and arm swing. The purpose of these gait drills is to acquaint the person with their prosthesis, how to balance, roll over the toe, and how to take a step forward. Coach in these basic skills until the person feels confident. Now dynamic alignment can begin. Start at the hip and work down. During foot flat position in ambulation, the plane of the hip joint must be level. If the joint is tilted off the horizontal position, abducted or adducted, the joint is not level. This will cause gait defects. In addition, it will cause wear in the prosthesis and result in maintenance problems. To make adjustments, the prosthesis is removed. Adjust by putting some spacers or wedging material between the socket and the hip joint. This will correct angulation. After the dynamic alignment procedure is completed, replace the wedge with rigid plastic to prevent eventual loss of adjustment and breakage of the hip joint. Make any counter adjustments that are necessary at the knee and foot, caused by shimming between the socket and the hip joint. During the foot flat phase of ambulation, the knee joint must be level. Make necessary adjustments by using the alignment screws on the pylon. Now check the foot for a level position and correct if necessary. This completes the leveling process. Continually check during alignment for correct length of the prosthesis, stability, and level axes of hip, knee, and foot. Although all above-knee dynamic alignment principles should be applied to the hip disarticulation, there are three which are of particular importance for the hip prosthesis. They are position of the socket in stance phase, stability of the knee in stance phase, and the position of the foot. The socket can be tilted back too far. If this is the case, the person will feel they are falling over backwards or that the knee is unstable. Adjust the socket from the leaning backward position to return the socket to a level position. If the socket is in the proper position and the knee is still unstable, the knee may be forward of the weight line. The weight line, then, is behind the axis of the knee. Make adjustments with the adjustment screws on the pylon to move the knee into a stable condition. Observe for proper anterior forefoot lever. Check to see if there is drop-off at stance phase. This is where the person feels they are falling forward, but the knee is not buckling. This indicates not enough anterior forefoot lever. Adjust the foot by using the adjustment screws on the pylon to bring the toe down, that is plantar flex, to give proper forefoot leverage. Another indication of improper forefoot lever is if the person feels unable to get over the foot, something is holding them back, or a feeling of walking uphill. The gait defect is hill climbing and indicates too much forefoot leverage. The correction is to dorsiflex the toe. In swing phase of dynamic alignment, look for the following: equal step length, toe clearance, proper tracking, ease of initiation of knee flexion, and control over swing of the prosthesis. First, equal and proper step length. The new hip disarticulation prosthesis wearer will often overcompensate for the prosthesis by taking unequal or short steps. Coach the person in correct stride length and instruct to take equal steps. Second, toe clearance. Improper toe clearance is caused by the prosthesis being too long or excessive anterior forefoot lever. This will cause the gait defect called vaulting. Correct the vaulting by dorsiflexing the foot or adjust the prosthesis length. If the prosthesis is determined to have the correct forefoot lever and length, the possible cause of the vaulting can be poor pelvic tilt technique. Coach to enhance proper pelvic tilt. Third, check for proper tracking of the prosthesis or absence of whips. This could be caused by internal or external rotation of the hip, resulting in whipping of the foot. Adjust internal and external rotation at the hip to correct. Improper tracking is also caused by internal or external rotation of the knee, resulting in whipping of the foot. Adjust internal or external rotation of the knee to correct. Fourth, look for ease in initiation of knee flexion.